Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cities Skylines Green Cities. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because I'm certainly excited to be back. Today as always, things are going very well here in the city of Greendale. We have a little bit of demand for everything. We're sitting on $7.2 million, population just above 137,000 people. And there have been some changes. You might be able to tell just looking at things that there have been some changes, but there have been some changes. I have been tinkering and decided to start expanding into this area. Now you might be wondering, well, why didn't you record this? Well, I did, but my commentary was literally just, and we're gonna put a road here, and we're gonna put a road here, and maybe we'll just put a little road in there because that'll be all nice like. That's basically what the commentary was. So 30 minutes of that, and I decided, you know what, I should start again and just explain what I've done thus far, because that'll be more interesting than, and we're gonna put a road here. So what I've done thus far is I've extended a road off of this roundabout. I've also adjusted the train line here so it raises up so we can get roads under it. It stays raised up the whole way around to the station where it slowly lowers into the station and then goes immediately underground as opposed to going around all of this and then underground over there. The reason for that is just so I can bring roads under that train track. Makes things easier and means that we're not repeating the mistake that we made up here by having a bunch of roads cut across this train track where traffic actually really struggles to get across. So that kind of makes a bit more sense to have it raised up down here. I've also gone ahead and changed the highway. The highway is actually what we base the angle of these roads on. So the highway comes out, curves a little bit, raises up, and then there's a couple of ways on and off of it. So if you're going, out of the city, you can drop off of the highway into the new area, or you can get on the highway to leave the city from the new area. If you're coming in, your first entrance to the city is actually into the new area. And if you want to go further into the city or leave in that direction, you can hop on here as well. You can hop down into the city over here and, go about your business. I've also just brought these roads out and sort of built them in these big blocks with all of the avenues. We actually have a few turning lanes in the works over here as well, so traffic can, go where it needs to go based on, whichever lane, asymmetrical roads and all that stuff. I love asymmetrical roads. They're so good. Such a useful thing. And that actually reminds me, I just want to mention, people are always asking for my mod lists. I actually have something in the works that I'm really excited about to do with mods, that I'm hoping you're all gonna really enjoy. It'll come out after this series is over, or it'll start after this series is over. I guess I can sort of spoil what it is. Basically, I want to do videos on Cities Skylines mods because I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos that see all these mods that don't really know what they are, how they work, what they're for. So basically, I want to take a mod, I want to, look at it for 15 minutes, tell you exactly what it does, exactly how it works, exactly where to get it, exactly how to make it work, and show you with examples all the things that it can do. So network extensions is obviously the roads there, how does Move It work? How does Road Anarchy work? Prop and Tree, all that kind of stuff. I'm not just going to make individual videos in every mod. All the anarchies I'll probably put into one video, but that's what I want to do. And I want to do that after this series has come to a close so that I can actually explain, what all of these mods that I've been using, some for almost 3 years, I think it's time I explain exactly what I'm doing with them. So that's a plan for future content. But today, I want to go ahead and start, building up this area a little bit. I want to build over here a little bit as well. And I also really want to see if I can maybe, if we have time, start looking at some farmland, because that's something I really want to get in here. I really think some farmland could be really nice. So we'll see how that plays out, but for the time being, let's go ahead and start doing some bits of zoning in here. So, off of this point, I want to bring this road through. I want to bring it up to not quite there. Let's see here. Let's just extend you to there for a second. Let's bring you up to there. And bring you across to there. So that seems fine. This bit of road is going to be changed. And this bit of road here is actually going to come straight over to about there, which gives us a bit of an awkward gap in the middle, which I guess I'll fill up by doing this sort of thing, which again is a bit of an awkward way to do things, but I think it, you know, some different styles and some different roads and all that stuff are not going to hurt. So something just a bit like that to fill up that zone. We have our main road going through, which honestly, I feel like we could put some trees on. I feel like we could line it with trees and make it all fancy, make it all nice. I feel like we could do the same thing over here as well. You know, get some trees going around there to make it look all nice. What about over here? Let's do the same thing. Let's give you guys some trees, make your district look a little bit nicer. You guys really need power. You'll get that soon, don't you worry. Just stay calm, don't panic. You'll get your power soon enough. As for here though, I mean, I'm sort of feeling that kind of same thing that we did in the place to the right, you know, just bring these roads straight down and through like that. And I think that'll be okay. We'll get some structures built up against the highway. I think it'll look great. And I think what we'll also do is come off of here. Let's see, is that going to go far enough to... No, that's a little too far to build on the highway. Okay. Let's maybe go a little bit less far. That's not far enough. Let's see here. So I want to go to that point, I think. Nope. I want to go to that point. So that... Oh, I could have lined it up much, much easier. Interesting. I'll need to keep that in mind next time. Bulldoze you. Go to there and there. And bring that out to there. Okay. I'm not really sure what to do with this district because I don't want to create a four-way junction here. So maybe we want to go a little bit further back. Something like that. And we probably want to change that into that style of road with something like that coming down through. I think that'll work. We'll keep it simple. We're not going to overdo it. That actually fits perfectly. And then trees. Obviously trees. I think at this point I've made it pretty clear I kind of like the trees. So these areas are all going to be laid out in very similar ways. I like the idea of sticking with something that we've learned in the past, which is that avenues should have offices. Because offices don't have as much traffic trying to stop to go into them. So what you wind up with is fewer vehicles just blocking the flow of traffic on your avenue. So having offices lining the avenues definitely seems like it makes sense. Plus, you know, there's smaller buildings and you end up with an interesting view, an interesting skyline, since you have slightly smaller buildings taking up your avenue space, with the larger buildings just behind those. We'll then put commercial structures, I think, along the highway. I think that's fine. So something kind of like that. And then the inside of those spaces is always going to end up being some residential zoning. Except for perhaps this bit, which can also be commercial, because it looks kind of interesting. The rest of it's residential. The rest of this is also residential. And I think that'll look pretty good. We might want to do a high-rise band down here. That might be a decent idea since this is, you know, some of the outer areas of the city. I feel like, you know, a high-rise band is something that's, would probably exist around here. But we'll see about that. We'll see what we can do shortly. Bring this straight up. That doesn't line up perfectly, but I think that will provide water to just about everyone around there, so that's all right. Bring this straight down. Almost lines up perfectly. And I think that'll be fine. So we'll get that all connected. We could do with some zoning in here as well, so I think we'll just go ahead and get the... That's just going to be completely offices in there, actually. And that's going to be offices as well. In fact, that can just be a path. No, you know what that can be? That can be parking lots. We actually do have little slim parking lots that can totally go along there. Did I mention, by the way, that we already have parking lots in here? We have a lot of them. I don't think I pointed that out. I probably should have. There are a lot... One moment. Let's just bring this path through first. So from there, straight to there. We'll maybe do the same thing down here as well. And that's probably fine. So yeah, there's a lot of parking lots in here. This is basically our services block for this new space. Could totally bring a train line down here, but I guess... I mean, technically, this is going to be full of, it's going to have a couple of metro stations. It's probably going to have its own new set of metro lines, actually. Which I'm kind of excited about. Because it's actually outside of the yellow lines as well, so... I guess we're going to see how that plays out. I guess we're going to see what happens. Also, I've put in so much zoning that I can be fairly confident in saying that we're going to wind up with a situation here where a lot of traffic is going to try and get into this new area very quickly. So we might want to be wary of that. We might want to be somewhat aware that traffic is probably going to go a little bit nuts. It might also be an idea, just thinking, to maybe go ahead and upgrade this to an 8-lane section of road because of how much traffic can technically go around there. So let's just make sure you are going left only. You are going to there. I know it's a little silly to have 8 lanes there, but at the same time, it might do us a few favors, is basically what I'm getting at here. The traffic lights will probably help, but I think just splitting traffic off a little bit there, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Assuming traffic flows the way I actually want it to flow here, which it might not, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. We'll have our 8 lanes. I'm just worried with it being such a small section of road that traffic might have some trouble. That's my worry there. That's why the 8 lanes are unnecessary, but necessary, if you get what I mean. That doesn't make any sense, I'm well aware, but just go with it, all right? Just roll with it. Let's see here. Can we get some parks in? I would like some big plazas if possible. We can totally get one there, which I really like, actually, because I can totally put some parking lots along the front of that. So there and there for a couple of spots of parking lots. And then maybe a path going like that and a path going like that. That works. That totally works. Fills up the space kind of nicely, gives a bit of leisure to that area. It would be nice to get a park over here as well, actually, just to fill up this ever so slightly empty space. Not totally empty, but, you know, ever so slightly. Maybe we do a park there and there. We change the pathway between them to be dirt. And the pathway there to be dirt as well. And then also, just to fill up some space, we could totally do another parking lot, such as the 4x8, to fill up that kind of awkward space. I don't think it looks amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it does the job. I also totally think moving this path to the left a little bit just to hide that awkward gap looks a little better. So there we go. Fills up the space, adds to the leisure, brings a bit of nature into the space as well. We are gonna need garbage disposal too. Honestly, getting this area here to be like a small industrial zone might not be a terrible idea, but I kind of want to get towards the Eden project first, which needs the business park. Now, the business park, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it the big arch? Which is this one? Yeah, it is the arch. Interesting. I'd love to have a road going through this. I would love to have a road going through the business park. That could look so cool. It's totally possible too. Like, the space is absolutely there for it. It's a little big though. but it could absolutely work. I just don't think it's, I don't know how realistic it is to have the roads going through this thing. So where would I put the business park, I suppose? I'm not really sure. Because on one hand, it could go in, like, towards the center of town, but on the other, the center of town, like, there's nowhere that gives it, there's nowhere for, like, the spectacle to exist, you know? It's not going to stand out and look really nice anywhere in the center of town. Which I kind of want something like this to do. Unless we put it there. Or, actually, the business park could have totally gone there. Let's give that a shot. Bulldoze all of this. And then business park can totally go there. And you can see it from the highway coming in. You can see it there. It's not the most glamorous location for it. Which is actually, it really does feel just kind of thrown in there, doesn't it? That, to me, that feels like it needs to be at the end of some big road. That's the problem I'm having here. So if I was to maybe move it to there, can I move this so that it is actually like that? Like that, that's not perfectly central. But is that unreasonable? It just looks cool, you know? It looks really cool having it, having the highway like that. Just going under the big arch. I really, really enjoy that. Especially since it's like the first entrance to the city. You go under, you know, that arch. It looks really cool. And if I was to lower it down a little bit as well, the trees don't clip through as much. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. We're doing it. We're having the business park. We're having it be the entrance to the city. It's being done. I also messed up that pipe, but that's fixable. There we go. So that's some water to the business park. It's gonna need power. I guess we should probably fill up these spaces and figure that out. Let's see here. What can we do for these spaces? I guess we probably want to come off of there. Go to about that point and do that. I don't like that they don't line up properly. Not a huge fan of that. But there's really not a lot I can do about it. Then that can go to there. So yeah, that's fine. Zoning's a little awkward in the area, but it'll do. I guess I could do this kind of thing just to fill up that space. Yeah, zoning's a bit awkward there, but I think it'll do. I think it'll do just fine. So let's go ahead and get some business in there. I guess that's kind of gonna make sense to have, you know, that entire area be for business. That looks really cool. I really enjoy it. I know it's unrealistic, but I really, really enjoy that. I think it looks awesome. So we're sticking with it. What else do we need for the Eden project? Next is the Cathedral of Plentitude. I hate this building. I hate this building so much. It's so... Ugh, is what it is. It's just nasty. There's nowhere that this thing looks good. Actually, to be fair, I think... Did I use this in my tiered city? I think I did use this in the tiered city, and I think it looked good at the top of the tiered city, but we're not building a tiered city here, so... Cathedral of Plentitude... I mean... It could look decent in this area. But again... This is a little... It's a little bit of a weird building. There's just... It's just not... I don't know, man. I just really don't like it. I really don't like it. It's that simple. I'm not a fan of the Cathedral of Plentitude. There's like nowhere good for it to go. it's an awkward shape. It's one of those buildings that's like the wrong number of tiles wide. There's nowhere good to put it. It's also kind of expensive. Just as an FYI, it's ever so slightly expensive. What if we just throw it in here? Or like over here. What if we try and make it look cool in this area here? That feels like too much in one space, though. That does feel like a little bit like too much in one area, but... Well, here we go. We're going to try and get the Cathedral of Plentitude to fit into the city somewhere. So we're going to go straight along here to that point. And the cathedral itself, I honestly don't know where we're going to put it. I honestly don't know. Let's actually bring this... Let's change this up a little bit. Just so that this is actually going to follow the roads that already exist. So it's going to come out like so. It's going to go up to like there. It's going to come back in. So that gives us a nice space for the cathedral. There are currently 4 tiles on the left, 5 on the right. Okay. It is literally not going to fit in there nicely. Yep. That's just great. That is just great. Okay. So, the cathedral, we are going to tweak it a little bit here. We're going to just tweak the way we're going to do this. That road's going to come straight across there. The cathedral can go there. And then what we need to do is redo the road so that I think... Yeah, so the cathedral is now central in this new little square that we built here. It looks ridiculous. It is a ridiculous, ridiculous building. But it's fine. Because we at least, you know, we have it. At least we have the cathedral here. Let's see. Can I get this to look nice? Probably not. Can I get any parking lots to look nice around this? Probably not. Can I get anything remotely to look nice around this? Probably not. Yeah, you guessed it. That looks all right. A 10x6 won't work, but a 9x6 will. So we'll do a 9x6. Unless we did like... Well, actually, a couple of 8x6s there on either side will do nicely. It's a cathedral that is literally surrounded by parking. It's actually my ideal cathedral, if you think about it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna put some trees in there eventually. I'm basically going for the Eden project right now. That's kind of my goal here. We need the... What do we need? The Friendly Neighborhood Park. But what is the Friendly Neighborhood Park? Because I've forgotten. What is this? Freight terminal storage. Wait, what? Did I forget? I totally forgot that we had like storage for the freight things. This thing. Did I really totally forget that I did? Building already exists. I can really only build one? I mean, it looks cool, so whatever. But that's annoying. You also don't have water. We should... Oh, there's so much traffic coming in there. We should give the cathedral plenty of water. It is the Cathedral of Plentitude, after all. So there we go. Plenty of water for the Cathedral of Plentitude. Which I guess is probably gonna stay there at this point. Even though I really don't want it to. It's just gonna have to. Let's see here. So this traffic's all trying to get out into that outer lane. That's kind of not good. That's probably why it's having trouble, you know, doing anything. Go there, and you all go straight on. Just stay in your lane for that. So that traffic can not get tailed back there. And then over here, exactly the same thing. You stay in your lane for this part so that traffic doesn't get a bit weird. Then here, everything seems fine. Everything seems fine. It doesn't actually look that there's any traffic tailing back at the moment, which is great news. There might be a tailback here. No, there's nothing here, which is good. This is actually one of the entrances. I didn't explain this, but that's one of the entrances to the area. So hold on, we need the friendly neighborhood park. I totally forgot about that. Let's see here. So that's the Bird and Bee Haven. That's the friendly neighborhood park. Well, it's gonna go into one of our ooh, power problems, really? Apparently I wasn't paying attention. Let's see here. Friendly neighborhood park first, and then power. So can I get it to go, like, there? Yeah, that seems nice. So power, what's up? Yeah, we are having issues. Okay. Can I get another solar updraft tower anywhere? I slightly have my doubts, but this area looks like it would be my best bet. So let's take a look. Solar updraft tower. Oh, you are bigger than I thought you were. What about these? We can get one of them. We can get that, I guess. Which knocks our power up to hopefully a decent spot. Not really. That actually didn't do much for us. Maybe we slightly rebuild this area in the image of a solar updraft tower. So right there. And then possibly bring that road straight across to there. And possibly put some offices on it. There we go. And possibly do the same here as well. So we wanted to offices up to about there. And then regular industry in there. So there we go. That should fix, yeah, power problems have been slightly solved. So that'll do the job for power. Don't need to worry about that anymore. Where were we? What is next for the Eden project? It's going to be the Statue of Industry. Okay. Well, the Statue of Industry is actually one of my favorite statues and parks in the game, because it's the one that stands with the big hammer. Unfortunately, the Statue of Industry requires 10,000 squares of industrial zoning to be built. Seriously? Seriously? I guess we don't have that much industry. We're gonna have to come back to that. That's actually kind of annoying that we're gonna have to come back to that, but we are legitimately gonna have to come back to it. Let's see here for the time being then. Let's get some district painting going on here so we can start doing some policies. I'm slightly annoyed I don't have the Statue of Industry unlocked. I know that in the past, I believe... does it work that way? I don't think it does. Does City Skylines work in the sense that when you unlock one of the unique buildings, it's unlocked in every save? Or have I always had unlock all enabled in my previous Let's Plays? Because I know in one of my Let's Plays, I did go through and unlock a lot of those buildings. And I should point out, I'm currently on a different PC to the one I recorded pretty much all of those previous Let's Plays on. So that's why I wouldn't have those unlocked on this PC. That's a weird thought. I might need to go through at some point and actually unlock all of those again. I don't remember, but that's going to make getting the Eden project slightly tricky because 10,000 squares of industry is a lot. That's a lot of industry. So we might have to spend some time on that. That might be a considerable investment. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, we have Pine Park and Chestnut District thus far. The new area is going to build up eventually. But let's go ahead and see if we can fill up these spaces just in here, because we do ever so slightly need to. I would like to make sure... I mean, that seems like a bad idea right away. That seems like a super bad idea. to... Yeah. I want to see... So if that goes... Let's see. If we turn on guidelines real quick. So we want to go to, like, there. Then we want to go to, like... there, possibly. And then those need to curve like that. So that seems fine. We do want to make sure that we're bringing... I can't do that, but I can do that, right? Yeah. Okay. Bring that down, take that to there, get rid of that. That loops around kind of awkwardly, but sure, it'll do the job, I guess. Let's maybe get rid of you since it's not really necessary. This space here is going to be so tricky to fill up. It's going to be so tricky to fill up, but if we can do it, we get a nice little bit of zoning in here. So turn off guidelines again. Let's go to there. And let's go to there. And I guess that kind of works. It's a really awkward looking space. Well, it is just a really awkward space, but that'll fill it up pretty well. Unfortunately, I can't just go straight across like this, but... Well, actually, I totally can. That might be a better idea. Yeah, I think that looks better. I think that looks better as well. So that's a bit better looking to, compared to what we had, at least. In here is going to be slightly tricky, too. So we want to line up here. And we want to go to there. And we probably want to... Let's see, have a road there? That'll mess with the zoning on that avenue, unfortunately, but... It does let me zone nicely against the highway. So I think we'll do it. I think we'll get ourselves a bit of a curve there. Which I think looks pretty good. And then maybe... Well, almost straight across. But I think we could do that. And again, a little bit awkward, but still fills up the area, which is kind of what we were going for. So that'll totally work. Over here is going to be a tricky one, because I don't really want to put anything here, but we'll come back to it. In here is going to be tricky too. Possibly just some green space or something around that cathedral. Although some green space along a highway doesn't seem like the most luxurious thing in the world. Especially with a train line going through it, so we'll see what that ends up being. But I think this is sort of working. We do need to find somewhere to connect this to, though. So let's have a bit of a think. I'm not sure how good of an idea it would be to do that. I really don't think bringing this road straight through is a good idea, but I'm gonna do it. Because I'm a sucker for punishment. In fact, it might even be an idea to go back to the asymmetrical idea that I did over, let's see, here. So we have all the lanes sort of correlating to... Oh my, I'm getting a little carried away here, but we're gonna do this anyway. So we'll do that. We want to do that. And then we probably want to make sure that we're getting sort of even spacing on the other side here. So 4 tiles there and 4 tiles there. And then that kind of thing. And then all I need to do is set up the turning lanes. So let's do that. Alrighty, so the lane management is done. Traffic going left is in the left lane, going straight on is middle, going right is the right, same way the whole way around. Which should mean that traffic can flow a little bit easier here, with that being a 4-way intersection. It's the same as the one just over here that I mentioned, which actually does flow relatively well. There is obviously, there's a bit of a tailback there, but that looks to mostly be down to the merging traffic, which is kind of annoying, actually. I wonder if we could maybe stop that and say, you know, maybe merge a little bit sooner there, guys. Because the traffic, I really, this is actually, I've probably talked about it before, and I've probably talked about it a lot, but the traffic AI in City Skylines is easily the most disappointing thing about the game. And that's not to say it's bad. It is literally just because of the way it merges. I really dislike that there's not a rolling merge, you know? If you're on a highway that's the speed where the speed limit is 70 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour, whatever, 100 kilometers, you don't come to a full stop to change lane. So I really don't know, like, I get that it's just a limitation of the AI or the engine or whatever, and I know that they can't change it, and the reason is because it would change the specs of the game, basically. But it just seems like such a huge thing. You know, it's such a huge thing to have the traffic AI behave in this weird way. It really is just so strange. Also, maybe don't merge on the off-ramp, guys. That'd be spectacular if you would maybe not do that. And instead, you know, just get in lane when you hit the ramp. Because if you don't, you kind of mess things up a little bit there. Let's just make sure these are all going in the right direction there. You are going to the right. You are going straight on. You are going straight on. That's fine. Then over here, probably want to do the same thing just to make sure that traffic isn't merging on the ramp. Because if it does, that totally messes things up. Basically, just pick your lane at that point and stick with it. Then here is exactly the same thing. You pick your lane as soon as you hit the ramp, and you stick with it. Because there's really no need to. Be picky. There's really no need to be picky. So you guys are going to stop merging there. You're going to get in your lane initially, and you're going to stick with it. You guys are going to be merging a bit further back, but that'll hopefully make them make better decisions. Apparently, it doesn't. Traffic is... Oh my god, look at this. It's going from the outside most lane to one of the... that's just ridiculous. You know what? Let me try and set up some merging points here. So traffic can merge. It just can't cut across several lanes of traffic to do it. It's so silly. It's so silly, and it's just something that it can ruin the flow of traffic so easily. So basically, there's 2 points here where they can merge before they can't. You can merge across one lane, and then you can merge into the next one. So you are never cutting across all lanes of traffic in order to merge. But of course, they're deciding to merge back here because they want to cut across 3 lanes of traffic. I love this game. I really do. I say that both sarcastically and not. I legit love City Skylines, but my god. Sometimes, just sometimes, this game, it can really get me going. And not in a good way. Not in a good way at all. Let's see here. You know what? Let's do some commercial in this area. Just to be a little bit different. We have a bit of demand for it, so we'll throw some commercial in. We're not... You know what? We will do some on the avenue there. Just again, to be a bit different. This is probably a bit of a bad idea, having zoning on that avenue, but we'll allow it. And then we'll just put offices around that whole space. Just to go back to our usual rule of not having commercial zoning on avenues. So there we go. We'll do that kind of thing. We'll see how that plays out. I am liking that as a bit of an expansion off the city, though. I think it looks pretty good. Once it's filled up as well, it should look even better. And let's see here. Are you guys seriously still... You're not merging across 3 lanes. Okay. No, they seem to be getting... No, what are you doing? Seriously. Seriously. Just don't. Just don't do it, cities. Just let them merge properly. Oh, wow. There's actually a lot of traffic trying to get in here now. I guess we have built a whole bunch of new residential spaces. And also, we don't have any metro connections yet. So we should probably look into that. Let's see here. I think we will just have the one line that comes out. I don't think we need to go too crazy with it. So I think a metro line that comes out towards the cathedral is not a bad idea. And then I think a metro line that comes into that spot is not a bad idea. Maybe it will sort of link around the whole space, you know, come down this side and then back up that side. That might not be a terrible plan. Let's see here. We'll go for there. And then we'll go for there. And then we'll throw one into that spot. And then I think we could go to there as well. We could maybe head across the street a little bit. Actually go into there, in fact. Yeah, I think that'll kind of work. Go to that spot and then sort of connect it down this way. That'll be fine. Let's get these connected together and see what we're doing. So you go to there, you go to there, you go to there, and you come straight across like that. Obviously one of the sharper turns, but not going to worry about it. I think at this point y'all are fully aware that I just do not partake in your metro line nonsense. There we go. We'll connect that up like so. I'm not really sure how to connect this back to the rest of the city though, because I do want it to connect to the center. I do want it to connect to the center. But I also think having it connect to that yellow line is not a terrible idea. We actually don't have many metro lines coming down here either. So maybe we can actually continue this. So to there. And then towards the Central Park thing. And then to there. So that's going to possibly be one of our longer lines. But I'm not too worried about that. I think that'll be fine. But like I said, I do want it to have a connection to the yellow thing, so maybe, you know, bridging across like that will give us, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go like that, and we're going to start down here. We're going to say it's going to come the whole way through, goes near Central Park, comes all the way through here. It's going to connect up to all these spaces. And it's going to hopefully do some good for us. So it's going to come in. It's going to go towards this yellow stop. Then it will go to here. And then it's going to come back. And it's also going to go to the yellow stop. And then it's going to go to all of the same stops that it went to. And hopefully we end up with another super effective, super popular metro line right here. There we go. So line is completed. There we go. Line doesn't seem completed to me, but okay, there it is. All right, so that metro line is now done. That's a connection done into there, which hopefully does some decent stuff for us. Can I move that stop? Why is that stop complaining about not having a connection? Okay, there was apparently a stop there that didn't have a connection, and apparently a stop there that didn't have a connection. That's a bit weird, but sure, there's also a stop there that doesn't have a connection. And there? Really? Is that completely messing with my line? Have I found like a weird bug here? Okay, so I've not got no stop down there. This is really strange. This is a really weird bug that I've never seen before. So add a stop there and add a stop there. They're going to complain for a second about not having connections. You're going to go there. And you are going to go there. and you are going to go there, and they're all going to complain, but eventually they'll stop. So that's fine, I suppose. You guys are doing the merging thing as well, which I'm not very happy about, but to each their own, I suppose. We are approaching 150,000 people, which is great news. And it does look like there's a decent number of people already wanting to use these metro lines, which I'm really happy about. We do probably want to get you guys some water. So there you go. Enjoy that. It's going to be free. You know, I have to pay for the, water. You guys are just getting it for free, I'm assuming. Never really stopped to think about that. Do the citizens pay for the water, or is it just do we have water? We don't make money off of water, do we? That's not a thing. We make money off of the houses, but I can't imagine that does include a water bill. I don't know why I'm suddenly thinking about this. But I've never stopped to think about the fact that we, you know, what utilities do the citizens pay for? Electric, yeah. Do they have water bills, or do they just pay for, like, the land? I'm probably thinking way too hard about this. It doesn't matter, but yeah, I've had a moment. I'm having a bit of a crisis thinking about this. Give me a headache, actually. Let's see here. Let's bring this road through up to there and just along to there. And turn on anarchy so I can do that properly. Bulldoze you. And let's see if I turn on guidelines again. Can I by chance? Yeah, I can get that to work. It almost lines up perfectly too. But that'll do. With a little bit of a curve like that, just to fill up that space. And I think a little bit of a road just to fill up that space as well. And I think that looks decent. We'll just move these along a little bit. And there we go. I think that looks decent. I think that'll do the job. And I think what we'll do is we'll clear out that space since it's awkwardly zoned. We'll do some commercial in the rest of this. And then this can be some kind of little park or something. So let's go and get some bushes. Let's get a line of them. And let me turn on prop and treat anarchy as well as anarchy within the line tool. And let's see what we can do here. So we want to get a real nice little line of bushes here. I kind of want them to be closer together. Let's move them right in like that. So we'll go to there. We'll go to there. And we'll come the whole way across. We can line that concrete thing as well. Going up to that corner. And that looks all right to me. I think what we'll do is maybe just bulldoze some of the bushes here to make it look like that's an entrance. We could do the same here. And we could do the same down here as well. Just to sort of have some entrances or something like that. And then a couple of trees around as well, just to sort of accent those entrances. With some bushes of some sort. And then I think we'll throw some colorful trees in as well, because we don't usually do these. We don't usually go with the colorful trees. So get some of those in, just to shake things up a little bit. Nice big colorful tree there in the corner. Let's see what else we got. We got this one. Very bright pink. A couple of those in. Anything else? We got this one too, which is also very pink. There we go, a couple of those. Maybe one there with one of those beside it. And then maybe a rock or two or something like that. We have a couple of different things in here. We could do some tree trunks, but I think just a couple of rocks make things look kind of interesting. Just like that. And then possibly a couple of bushes amongst the rocks as well. Just, again, to make things look kind of nice. And maybe one of those. That looks terrible. It needs a path. That absolutely needs a path. It just looks like a weird green space without it. So let me just turn off all of the parameters here and go in and see what I can do. So to there, to there, to there, then around here, and to there. And then hopefully I can make that look a little better, because some of these spots are a bit weird. And hopefully I can also go in with this sort of thing. That does ever so slightly mess up this curve. But that kind of fixed it, so that's fine. Alright. So now we have these curves going. We can actually put another tree, like a big tree there. So it curves around that for a reason. That looks alright. It's a bit messy, but it'll do. It's a bit of a green space, which is kind of what we were going for. Over here, we did have some parks. I think we'll throw those back in just because we were going to put the business park there. We decided not to. So we'll do this. We can grab the dirt path again. Turn all of these back on except for guidelines. And connect it to there. So that totally works. Traffic isn't flowing as badly as it was because I believe most people will have moved into this area by this point. Over here is having some problems with water, but we'll come back to that. Because what I think we're going to do is we're going to attempt to bring the roads around here. We're going to see if we can bring this, bulldoze you. We're going to see if we can bring this avenue around the train lines. So to there, and then a curve. So yeah, that works perfectly. I'm not really sure where I'm going to connect it to. Possibly in here. Possibly a bit further down, like there. Could be a good spot. I'm definitely thinking there is a good spot for one. I would like another connection, though. So, right there is probably not a bad connection either. So bring these straight through. Like that. I have left prop and tree anarchy on, unfortunately. So I'm going to need to go in and just change some of these to not have the trees on it. There we go. I'll just fix up that problem. So all the way along there, just to make sure there's no plants in that road. And then we just go along and undo the whole thing, because we don't really want the grass-lined avenues there. So that is going to be a series of connections that'll let traffic from here get over to there. It'll hopefully make this area a little bit less, packed in terms of traffic. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I like that, though. I think that's a good set of connections. It gives us room to expand our city down this way a little bit. Honestly, what we could probably do is put a couple of offices or shops along here, make sure there's a high-rise band, and then start doing our suburbs on this side. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me. So I think these offices in here will be a really good way to have a few smaller, but still, high-density buildings, before we break off and start doing the lower-density stuff again. Let's also do this because we can, and because we do need to bring this road straight down. So what we want to do is go in with this path and just make sure it is lining up real nicely there. So that works fine. Let's bring you all the way down to there. Beautiful. Yeah, that lines that entire area really nicely. We can do some offices the whole way along there. That'll really nicely enclose the train station too, which is kind of what we want to do. And then just suburbs, all that kind of stuff around here. This is going to be another city block. This isn't going to be suburbs. This will be a city block that sort of fades out down here, and then, suburbs down towards the coastline. Yeah, I think suburbs kind of around here along the coast. Farms back here a little bit. More city block around here, I think. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting towards getting our farmland in, getting more city stuff in, especially in, some of the awkward spaces that we still have here. But I'm really glad this is all connected together at this point. I'm really, really glad this is all connected. Over here, I think, is just going to be more offices. I know we don't have the demand for it. I'm well aware we don't have the demand for this. But that's okay. It'll build eventually. In fact, what we could do is throw, maybe a bit of commercial in those spaces. And also throw some water at these guys because they are definitely going to need it. So let's see here. Bring that pipe out to there. Down to, let's see. Go from there up to there. And go the whole way along here. And we'll connect it all up, get them some water. And sincerely hope that all builds up eventually, because it's going to take a long time. It is going to take a long time for a lot of that to build, just simply because we just don't have the demand for all of that right now. But I'm quite happy with this. I am quite happy with this. And I think that once we get the farms in as well, I mean, I'll be honest, the farms are largely going to be cosmetic. I'm going to do a lot of stuff with bushes and trees to make it look like crops. But I think at first, what I might do is make the farms actual agricultural land so that we can maybe get that statue of industry, because we kind of need it. We do kind of need it. Also, just before we go anywhere today, let me just see about making this look nice, because at the minute, it kind of doesn't. So make this all smaller. Bring those a little closer together. And let's make sure that we have our prop and tree anarchy on to nicely line this green space with a few bushes. We might want to get the trees off of the road there. Just because if we put some trees into these green spaces, it might look a little bit much. But we'll see. Bring this all across to there and straight down to there. Bulldoze you. And then I think a few trees like these ones, just for a bit of something in there. And then maybe a couple of colored trees as well, just to add some color to the area, since this is very gray and white in here. So one of the pink ones, maybe a couple of the pink ones, a couple of smaller ones on the outside like that. Then in here as well, we can get a few of the pink trees and possibly a few of the purple ones as well, or the slightly different pink trees. I think those look kind of nice. And then, let's see, anything else? Anything else at all? We could add in one of those. And maybe a couple over here as well. I think that looks alright. Just a little bit of something, A little tiny bit of something to fill that up, but I'm really happy with that expansion. I think we're going to leave it there for today, ladies and gentlemen. We have some waiting to do for this all to build up. We need to start designing some suburbs down here, which are going to be some pretty substantial suburbs. They'll probably be in the same style as these ones, so not following a freeform road as much, since these ones are very close to the city. But that's okay. I think that'll be fine. They go right down to the coast, up to the cliffs and all that stuff. And then over here, it'll eventually fade into farmland. Probably have some farmland out here as well. A couple of city blocks. Maybe some slight suburbs to divide the city block and the farmland. But I like this. I really like this little outcropping here. I like that it follows the highway. I like that it's sort of become like a proper official entrance to the city. I think it looks good. I'm thinking that this is getting to be one of the biggest cities we've done. Not in terms of population. That was Tornado Country, or Tornado County, or whatever. But this is definitely going to be one of the larger cities. And I think it will end up being the largest once we get the suburbs out here and the farms out here. So we've still got some work to do. Still a whole lot of work to do. But I'm excited. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Thank you kindly for watching. This has been City Skylines Green Cities in the beautiful city of Greendale. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.